All right, guys, it's been about 2 months since we got our Model Y, and Jenny is here to tell you all about it. We're gonna go for a drive here and just talk about the pros, the cons, the things we wish we would have known before, and hopefully it'll help you with your decision whether to buy or what you need to do once you do take ownership. Let's go. Before we get too far in the video, I wanna give a big thanks to today's sponsor, Manscaped. Yes, Manscaped. Now, we're all kind of stuck inside right now and things are slowly starting to reopen, and you may be stuck at home with a partner. So we want to keep things hygienic and clean, and that's where Manscaped comes in. Now, Manscaped is one of, if not the only company I know of out there that is dedicated to below the shoulders grooming and hygiene. And I have a message from your partner, maybe if you haven't heard it. It's time for this. You need it. Now, if you've tried to do this in the past like I have, it may have resulted in, let's just say, negative results. Things that you didn't want to have happen. And with Manscaped, that's why they invented their new 3.0 trimmer. They call it the Lawnmower 3.0, and this thing solves that problem that I mentioned earlier. And it is actually really great. They sent me one a few weeks ago and no issues, I'll just say. Now, this thing has a battery that will last up to 90 minutes, so you don't have to rush through it. And one of the coolest features is it has this LED light, which illuminates the grooming areas for, closer, more precise trimming. So it takes balls. And whether or not we're talking about a company that's moving things forward or you with your manscaping routine, Manscaped wants to hook you up with 20% off your first order. Plus, they'll give you free shipping if you go to manscaped.com right now and use the code Sullins. So that's 20% off and free shipping when you use the code Sullins, or check out the link in the description down below. So thanks, Manscaped, for keeping us safe out there during this time of need and for sponsoring the show. Let's get back to the video now. Okay, so it's been a couple months now, and how's your car, Jenny?
I love it.
You love it?
Yeah.
What do you love about it?
Well, the hatchback and me have a big love affair because it fits everything I need.
Okay.
And, well, it's just it's the same Tesla I've been driving for years. It just finally has all the features I need in it, like the hatchback, and I guess it was just the hatchback.
And the power lift gate, but is it closing still? Because we've been having issues with that. I've taken it to Tesla multiple times now, and the trunk closing, it always works perfectly when I'm there. Yeah. How has it been for you? Because it's been hit or miss for me.
It's so weird. Like, one day I was out, it wouldn't close the entire day. I came out the first day that I did it, I came out from inside the grocery store, and there was a puddle of water underneath the car, and I thought that was so weird. And then I realized because the car had never turned off, because when the trunk is open, the car doesn't turn off. And so it doesn't lock, and you don't really know, because I pushed the button, the lift gate closed, but it didn't close. And so it looks closed from the outside. The only thing that would tip you off that it's not locked is the mirrors didn't go in. So now I kind of have to check it every time. So what I do when it closes, I push the lift gate, it closes, and then you can just tell it didn't close all the way, like the mirrors don't go in, or you just know. And then I just push pressure on the top.
So it might be actually like the hinges or something.
I think it's a pressure thing, because it's all lined up perfectly. Because if I barely push down on it, it goes, and then you can hear it latch. So
we have that issue still kind of outstanding.
Yeah, everything else, I love this size of car. It fits in everywhere. It's super sporty. I can take both kids in it. The little middle seat that goes down has been really, really beneficial for when I load up supplies. I try not to make this car when I pick up wood a lot. I try not to make this car like my loader car, because it's also nice finishings.
So as Jenny has a workshop now where she's doing all this work at, and you can go check out her channel, of course, where she's going to be sharing all that. But yeah, that's kind of the weird thing. It works great for your business, but at the same time, you kind of don't want to be loading up really rough materials that are going to destroy the interior.
Yeah, the interior is really nice. So I've just, used like a moving blanket or something. But like I said, I do like if I'm out and about and it's not a day that I knew I was going to load up something, but I ended up loading it. I just like that I have the ease of being able to do that. And it fits everything I've needed.
Okay, so functioning great, working great. Any issues driving it or anything? I know autopilot's not your favorite, so...
I just don't think to use autopilot. I actually really enjoy driving the car just how it is, but We haven't done any long road trips. I do tend to use the cruise control is probably the only thing I use when I'm on the freeway. But we just did like a little autopilot because I always forget how to use it. I forget it's 2 down, and so I'll be driving. I'm like, is it 1 or 2? So we just did it like a little demo, and I don't love that it steers for me.
So autopilot's not working for you, or you and it aren't friends yet. Other tech have any streaming music, everything been working fine? Any other challenges there?
There has been a lot of connectivity issues. Like I can't tell you how many times I'm driving and I just have no music at all. Like
it just loses connectivity.
Well, I'll just be driving around and it's just like on pause, and then I'll continue to try to get it to play, and no matter what it is, the radio is about all I can get to play.
Right.
So I tend to just throw the radio on a little bit, but that honestly has happened in every car we've had. Every Tesla we've had. AC, everything to adjust the car has worked really well. The link for the garage has worked. Home link.
Yeah.
Everything's worked really good there.
And then have you used any of the games or the toys or any of the anything?
No, I feel like I use that more if we're road tripping and
sure. Charging with the kids, because you haven't even supercharged ever with this car.
No, I did supercharge with this car because I took it up to Orange County.
Oh, okay.
And I went and supercharged with it.
Okay.
And so it was super easy. It was really fast. I was going to go grab a coffee, and I was sitting there and it said 16 minutes.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, I'm just going to have to sit here.
This car definitely charges super fast.
So
it should
fast.
be the same as the Model 3, but faster than the S and the X for sure.
Yeah, so it charged really fast overnight. I mean, the long range, I couldn't go back after having a long range EV. I love having long range.
Yeah, and we haven't really been driving much, obviously, in the pandemic, so it's not like we've been testing that yet, but we will be for sure. This is the road trip car, I think.
I think the range is just so nice because if you don't plug it in one night, which I'm notorious for forgetting to plug it in.
Which is why everyone out there, you definitely should always get the longest range you can afford.
Yeah.
Seriously, it makes a huge difference in your daily use of these cars. I mean, yeah, you may not drive more than 40, 50 miles in a day, but I'll tell you what, not having to plug in every night is an even greater luxury.
Especially if you don't have a plug-in at your home or you're going somewhere else.
That's right. If you just have a regular outlet, which is totally fine, but if you don't do it every night. Now, there have been some updates here for Jenny, and I want to get your first thoughts on these. One is they dropped the price of this car by $3,000.
Of course they did. That's great for everyone else.
Yeah, typical Tesla stuff.
Like, where do they get that number? Like $3,000 is just a markup?
They've been doing this forever. The Model S, Model 3.
They change around the price of like the paint colors and...
Yeah, but they tend to go down in the general direction. So the earlier you buy the car, definitely you're going to end up paying more. It's just consistent. And the odd part is... people that just got their cars that are like, woo, it's my first Tesla, I love it, oh my god, Tesla's great, and then this happens, they're like, oh, how could you do this, oh, I hate you. And then you have everyone else going, oh man, now I can finally afford it, it's bring it to the masses. So there's this like weird sloshing of the tides of people angry and people happy, and it's just like a funny thing. Like, generally you're not going to please a lot of people though by doing that. The thing too is that they are not going to be releasing a standard range edition of this car.
What is standard range? 200 miles?
So the Model 3 standard range is right around 240 miles, but they're no longer doing that, and they're only going to sell long range, which I think means they may sell the rear wheel drive long range. This is all wheel drive, so there may be a slightly cheaper version than this, but this may be the cheapest one that they make.
They'll do this one and then they'll do the performance.
Right, because the S and X only have all-wheel drive long range and performance. There's only 2 options there.
With the $3,000 decrease, and this is going to be the standard range, what would that car be at now at the base model?
Well,
still 60,000?
No, I think it's like 55 or something, because we added $2,000 wheels and...
Ooh, how cheap could I get this car?
So the cheapest you can get this car with no additional options or anything is $49,900, so $50,000. So it's actually not bad. That's with autopilot, that's with 316 miles of range, 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds. If you start changing the color, if you start adding in wheels.
How much they charge you to add a color?
$2,000.
$2,000.
To go from white to red.
I mean, it's cheaper than wrapping it, though, I guess.
Far cheaper. And then $1,000 for every other color, $2,000 for the red multi-coat. How is solid black $1,000? I'm looking here on my phone now. Solid black is the worst paint that they make. It's the cheapest single coat, non-obsidian metallic. Do not buy solid black for $1,000. All right, we're far off topic here. So
yeah.
Back to something that people care about. Okay.
I have not used the wireless charging because I do have to take my cell phone case off. That's just a problem with any wireless charging, but it is nice not having to worry about like fitting your phone in. So you can just do wireless charging right here. I still love this center console.
You do?
I think the center console is really clean looking, and I like that I can tuck stuff away inside here. So I love that they kept that function from the Model 3 because I really enjoyed. I think they just kept everything with the Model 3 because I think everyone was pretty happy with it.
Yeah, it's a great vehicle.
Everyone asks about this on your Instagram about the roof.
Oh, right.
People are just always like, I would love that car, but it would get too hot. Growing up in Arizona, in Phoenix, Arizona, where your car just bakes in 118 degrees sunshine for 4 months straight, I definitely think that's a concern as well. And in San Diego, we pretty much have sunshine all the time, and it is not an issue. And we didn't do any extra tint on the top.
No, but you can get even more heat rejection film, but this thing is super good already.
I definitely don't let it deter you from getting the car if you live somewhere sunny, because I could totally be in Arizona with this. Now, black was something that I wouldn't get again.
A black car, because the AC is running all the time, because it has there's a feature called cabin overheat protection.
Yeah.
So it won't let the interior of the car get above 105 degrees. So the idea, in theory, if for whatever reason there was a child or a dog or someone left in here without the climate control or anything going, the car would still maintain a livable temperature. And the black car definitely has it worse.
Yeah, I don't notice it that much in this one. If I park it, there's a certain part of the day in our driveway that gets blasted by the afternoon sun, I will notice a little bit there, but every black, we've had 2 black cars now, and those, if you have them side by side, 100% working harder to cool off the car.
You can hear it. You literally just go outside and you hear it. Now there's the thermal management of the battery as well, because it doesn't want the battery to get too hot, because that could really hurt with the battery cells. But then there's the interior as well. So yeah, so even with this,
and the only reason why you don't really want that is your car's running in the driveway the whole time, and it will leak the air conditioned condensation. Not a huge problem, but it does alarm people. Like, they walk by and they're like, your car is on, you left your car running. And then the second thing is, it could drain 20 to 30 miles, I feel like, per day.
Yeah. In fact, a lot of times in Tesla, when people first see how much phantom drain there is, they get alarmed and they think the app is causing it. When you think about phantom drain, if you're unfamiliar with that, is basically when your car is sitting here, it's using some amount of energy for all the reasons we just talked about.
Air conditioning.
And that will drain the battery. So when you add all that up, if you have a black car or a dark car sitting in the sun all day, it can really, drain your battery. So it sucks, but it's definitely something to consider. Once you know about it, it's really not a big deal to manage. But without that knowledge, you might be a little bit surprised at what you see. Don't get black because of all the reasons we just said. And other than that, the car seems to be doing well. You have some streaming issues. Autopilot's not a thing that you really use, so no comments there. But the other issues we had from delivery, we have taken it in a couple times. They fixed almost all of them. Some of them were quirky and funny, like the visors sounding like creaky old doors. But then the only one I think really outstanding is the charge port door is still really misaligned. It just looks off. And so I'm not sure what they're going to do about that. But for those of you that were concerned after seeing that video, know that they're able to fix almost all of these things, and that's the only one really outstanding now. So, don't be scared off about that. Well, the trunk is a hard one because we can't show it in action, and it is hit or miss. So I'm gonna try to fix it one on my own, I guess, if and when it happens. There's some other mods we want to do to the car, or I want to do to the car.
What are you talking about? It's my car.
All right, so final words. 2 months. Feeling good so far? Yeah,
I think it feels like if you've watched for a long time, I always feel like the car that I end up driving is like not something I get to choose. It just kind of is like
the hand-me-down.
It's a hand-me-down Tesla, but it's like not. You really do. You choose a car based on your uses and what you're gonna like. I feel like I picked this car. Yeah, I'm really happy with it, and I don't want to change it a bunch. And
We're not gonna change it a bunch, but we are gonna take
I don't
it
want
in.
to lose it for 2 weeks.
We are gonna take it in for some more paint protection film. So stay tuned for that. Also, if you wanna see just the delivery video and all the thoughts and things we've done already, check out, we'll put a playlist over here somewhere that you can check out. See you guys next time.